Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now, today I'm very delighted. I've got a very special guest. As you all know, Arsenal women are in a Champions League final against Barcelona coming up this weekend, and I've got a Barcelona fan. And yeah, I can't wait to chat about the game coming up, Barcelona's season, Arsenal's season as well. It's great to have you on, but first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really excited for this. I just wish the match is like tomorrow or like even like tonight in half an hour or something. Like I can't wait for the match. I'm
Yeah,
sure you can't just wait too. So yeah, I mean, both our men's teams, got knocked out in the semifinals. It
yeah.
could have been Arsenal's Barcelona final, both men and women. You kind of dreamed of that, but it's okay. It happens. But at least the women are there, so let's enjoy that.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, for the women's team, we've not been in the Champions League final for such a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy to be in the final. I mean, I don't really know how we're going to be because I know we've not played each other for quite. I think 2021. I think we played each other, and
Yes.
we just weren't able to deal with how good Barcelona was. I think we're a very different team now. But how you feel about coming up against Arsenal? I mean, we in the second leg we always do very well, but obviously for this game it's just one game, and I sort of don't know which Arsenal to expect. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I get that. See, like I have seen so many Arsenal fans say just a final, it's only one game, anything can happen. I agree, I completely agree. It's only one
Mm.
game. But for Arsenal, the story of the season has
Yeah,
been, if you can describe it, if you can describe it in one word, it's resilience. You knock them out anytime, they come back up.
yeah,
Even in the qualifying rounds, they lost to Hacken away from home 1-0, they came back 4-0. And then they lost to Bayern Munich 5-2. Nobody, no, like the most optimistic Arsenal fan wouldn't have expected them to first, top the group and then beat Madrid and then Lyon and then reach the
yeah,
final. But they did that. They beat Bayern 3-2 at home, and then they came back against Real Madrid. They came back against Lyon. So my counter would be like, you guys need two legs to come up, and final is only one leg. I mean, there's only one game. And
yeah,
Chelsea had a similar story in the 2021 season. They again, even they were very resilient. At times they should have
yeah,
been knocked out. They were 10 players down to Atleti. They considered two penalties. They came out of that. They got beat by Wolfsburg in the first leg. Came back again. The Bayern Munich semi-final. They lost the first leg and then they qualified to the final. And we all know what happened in the final. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Arsenal. We don't know what's going to happen. But the story of the season for Arsenal has been resilience. Like you knocked them out, even against Leon. Like I would
yeah.
really like to know what you thought. Like I honestly I thought Leon were going to beat Arsenal,
Mm,
especially since Arsenal's best performances come at the Emirates. I mean, they
yeah.
have been blowing teams away at the Emirates, except maybe for Chelsea. But again, that's a sticky situation because Rene had just come in, so that's okay. But generally, Arsenal have been very great at the Emirates. So
Mm,
honestly did not expect Arsenal to beat Lyon the way they did, especially the way they did.
yeah.
So like, did you really like? How much hope did you have that Arsenal will turn this around against Lyon? I would like to know that because I've been. This is the first time I'm speaking, directly to an
Yeah.
Arsenal fan. So just really like to know what were you thinking before the game, and at what point during the match did you think, you know what, we might actually be in the final?
I think it was different because with Madrid, even though we lost on the first leg, I thought this team was good enough to beat Madrid. So I think for that one, it was different than Leon because I think we were shocked on the first leg at how good Leon were, and I think defensively on the first leg we didn't have the pace to
Yeah,
sort of cope with them, and on the second leg we obviously did much better with that. But I know at the end, maybe last 5-10 minutes, it was a bit nerve wracking. But I think, yeah, it surprised me in a way. I mean, when we had Leon in the second leg, I was probably like quite optimistic we would do it because we did it against Madrid. But it's a different type of game against Leon
yeah,
because you know they're incredible and they've won so much, and the players that they have as well is incredible. But when we scored our first goal against on the second leg early on, I think it was like in the first ten
the own
minutes.
goal. Yeah,
Yeah, I knew then that. we can do this. And then I'm pretty sure Caldenti scored again before half time, and I
What a
thought,
goal!
well,
What a goal!
I love her so much. She's amazing.
Oh, we
She's
miss her so much. Miss you do miss her. Yeah,
Yeah, it does sometimes feel so surreal she's at Arsenal because we've really missed a player like her for a while. I know we've had a Miedemar and they're very different type of players, but Miedemar used to sort of be that player that would get us through those games. But I think with
absolute goal scorer she
Caldenti,
is.
she is
Yeah,
just amazing. I love her so much.
and you got her for zero British pounds, huh?
Yeah, she's been
No costly sign.
amazing. Yeah, it'd be funny for her playing up against Barcelona because I know
Ah, God, I
she'll
did not
find that
want that,
difficult.
honestly. I honestly did
Yeah,
not want that. I thought Leon would beat you guys and then we don't have to face Mariona, but oh my God. Yeah, let's see what happens. It's amazing.
yeah. I think she'll always love Barcelona. I reckon maybe one day maybe she'll come back to Barcelona, but I think for us it's so good to have someone like her. And yeah, I mean this game, it'd be horrible for you to watch it, but I think if you look at who could really score goals in the game against Barcelona, I mean, Alessia Russo has been amazing this season for Arsenal. I think she's been the joint top goal scorer in the league with Bunny Shaw for Man City, but I think her and Carl Dente have definitely been two really important players for us. But for you, for Barcelona, I mean, there's a few I personally like, but which sort of Barcelona players do you think have been really good this season?
I mean, like, I can't just name one or two. There's so
Yeah, it's
many, like the front six. I mean, like, I would say the people who have like come new. At the left back position, it was Freedon for like past 2 3 years. She has been like having that position on hold. There were so many players who were signed in to give us some kind of competition, but they couldn't. We signed a player called Nuria Rabano from Wolfsburg, and
Mm,
she left in one season. Now she's playing for Utah Royals in NWSL. Like, Rolfo is such an amazing player, and she's not even a left back. She is a forward. She's a left winger, but she has taken that position so much that no player was able to challenge her. And Esme Broach was signed last season for free, and she's a 21-year-old from Netherlands, and she has actually dislodged Rolfo from the left back position. So that I think, like, in terms of established players, we already have so many, Mappy, Rene, Alexia, Patry, Eva Payo, CGH, Salma, P, there's so many. But yes, I mean, like, Esme Broach is one of them. Like, new people have come up who stepped up to the
yeah.
higher level. And then we missed Mariona. We absolutely missed her. But
Mm.
when we were feeling about that, then came Pina, and she scored 10 goals in Champions League just like
Yeah,
that.
she's been great.
So yeah, and I'm glad it worked out for the both of us. For Barca, we get, because even for Mariona, the one of the reasons for her leaving was that she wasn't promised proper game time, because she
Mm.
has two players in her position. She has Salma Paralluelo and Claudia Pina knocking on the door. So it's difficult for the club to juggle all of these top players. So she decided she had to leave and she find a new challenge, and she found it, guys, which is a great fit for you. It worked for you. It worked for her. She's the
Yeah,
WSL Player of the Season. Like, it's undisputed. Even Chelsea fans, Arsenal, I mean, United, like, everybody see, yeah, she's great. We know that. We have seen that day, week in, week out. But it's really nice to see her. It's also like very easy for rival fans to say, she can do it in Barcelona. It's very easy for do it in Barcelona to come, for her actually to come out of the comfort zone and do it in a completely different team.
yeah,
And yeah, it's really amazing to see her shine. So I would say Pina has
yeah.
stepped up massively, and then Brutes. These two players who are the ones who came new. Others are all already on the top level. So if I have to name, I have to name the whole squad.
Yeah, I get you honestly, because that Barcelona team, there's so many like to admire as well, and I think as well with Caldenti, I think she knows herself and that she will always start in these big games. I mean, I know there's the odd games throughout the season where she might have a rest, but I think it's great that she's obviously, like you're saying, playing regular football because at Barcelona there is that competition there. And I think it's nice to see her settled at Arsenal, and she's had to come to a different league, a different country, and I think
Okay.
that's a big step for anyone really. So I think it's amazing. I mean, for Barcelona, I mean, I watched the game against Chelsea, the second leg, and I thought to myself, I tried to imagine if how Arsenal would do against Barcelona, and I think for Arsenal, like I think defensively is that's got to be our biggest strength. I mean, I don't doubt we can score, but I think defensively, I mean, we have conceded a lot of goals recently. But I think that's going to be a big thing for Arsenal to make sure that we can defend the best. I mean, we've got some great defenders. I mean, it's just going to be a big game. But for you, are you confident that you could win? As I said before, we've not played each other since 2021, so it has been a little while, and both teams have changed as well over the few years.
Yeah. Since you mentioned the second leg, I would like to also say this. In the first leg, like Barca's, like they played the Barca way, like full on attack, attack, attack.
Yeah,
All the defense literally plays at the halfway line. So it was full on attack, and like most Chelsea fans are of the opinion that they were holding on, they were barely holding on, that they could somehow bring it to Stamford Bridge 2-1. And even if that were true, even if they could bring it 2-1 to Stamford Bridge, there's no given that they will, progress just because they played Bridge,
yeah,
because they hadn't scored a goal against Barcelona at their home for the last two seasons. So 270 minutes they've played and they've scored no goals. So there's no guarantee that. And the reason they conceded those two goals in the last 10 minutes, because of you keep applying the pressure for 70 minutes. You've been under pressure, so at one point you have to break. Like
yeah,
it doesn't work like you just concede two goals all of a sudden. They're not stupid people. Chelsea have an incredible squad. There's a reason they're undefeated in the league. Like
yeah,
they're not a single game domestically, like in cup game, anything. There's a reason they are like that. So to just say that they conceded two goals all of, no, it's not like that, because Barca put pressure for like 70, 80 minutes. And at some point it broke and they broke. That's it. So that's what happened. But that was impressive. Obviously, like no Barca fan in the right mind would have thought we were going to win 4-1.
yeah,
But the second leg is what I'm a lot more impressed. I'm actually quite scared being a fan myself, because in the second leg, before the match, they have the press conference. So Pere Romeo, who is the coach right now, while he was talking, they asked him like, how will you approach this game? Because we have seen Chelsea, be 2-0 down to City, and then they just destroyed City in the
yeah,
first half. They could have won 6-0. So how are you going to approach it? It's like, yeah, I've actually watched all of Chelsea's comeback game, not just the one against City, the one against Liverpool, the one against Everton, all of the comeback games.
yeah,
I found few patterns of how they approach those games, and we have worked accordingly. He said it with just very serene face, like nothing is going to affect him. That is quite
yeah,
scary. But what impressed me the most was Chelsea were piling on the pressure. Like they played similarly, they played against City, but Barca this time played counter-attacking football. Like I've never seen Barca men. I've seen them play, but Barca Femini, like it was predominantly counter-attacking football. Like just one long ball for Alexia to Payo. That's it. Chelsea or flummox. They don't know what to do. They have to come
yeah,
back again, and then they have to make sure the defense is all right. Then they have to go back because they have to get the goals. And Barca just long balls, one long ball to Paya, one long ball to Pina. Like it was very easy for Barca. But and like I mean, Aitana also said this after the game, that this time Barcelona, they are good on the ball, so most times they don't have to worry about being off the ball. But Aitana says the difference now is we are ready to suffer without the ball. Even if the opposition has the ball and puts on the pressure, we're ready to suffer. Defensively, we'll be ready to make sure we get the ball. When we get the ball, we are going to
yeah,
be more vertical, because Barcelona has always been associated with the intricate football, the pass and
yeah,
movement. Like it takes 15, 20 passes to go. But now they're like, we can do that. And top of that, we have boom, boom, 1-2, quick counter goals, quick passes, and we go for a goal. So Power has added a new dimension this time. So everybody was asking, why should Barca even need Payo? Like you guys already are winning. Why do you even need Payo? I mean, Barca have been playing without a striker for the past 2 years. And I don't know, some of they won the Champions League, but I don't think it would have been this easy had they not signed a proper number 9 this season. So I'm glad they did that. It is fitted
yeah,
like a glove. She's fit like a glove, Payo. Actually, Miedema was, there was a rumor like at that time, as you said, the
yeah,
last time Barca met. After that, there was a rumor that Miedema might join Barcelona, but that didn't happen. So after that, Barca, I don't know, like they didn't sign a proper striker. They had Oshola, and then they also signed Jace, who then went to United, and then again
Yeah,
she's in the NWSL, but it never clearly
yeah,
worked out as a proper number nine. So this time, for Arsenal, I mean, with respect to the final, yes, Barca are good on the ball, they can do that. But now, even if Arsenal, because Arsenal are very good high pressing team, I'm very sure Arsenal will force turnovers, and at times they will get the ball and counter attack.
yeah,
But Barca now, Barca of earlier seasons did not have the power option. Now they have the power option. So if you counter, they can counter as well. So there
yeah.
is that additional thing Barca have this season. Since you said about Chelsea game, I just would like to I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I mean Chelsea, like you said, I think they did really well. They've obviously, in WSL, they've won so much over the last few years in the league, and I think any team would struggle coming up against Barcelona, and I think Barcelona are almost perfect, and you just got to be at that level for 90 minutes plus 90 minutes, and it is so tough. And I think, Chelsea did their best. I mean, the second leg, it was quite difficult. But yeah, I think I admire Barcelona. I think they're amazing to watch, and I think it's going to be a really tough game. I don't know. So, as I said, I mean, I obviously have optimism that Arsenal can do it. I think with our goalkeeper situation, we've had some issues. I mean, like I said before, we have conceded a lot of goals, and in my mind, Dom Lasar, who was our number one goalkeeper, if she is playing, then I think we've got a really good chance. Sinsberger, unfortunately, just concedes a lot of goals. I mean, defensively, we have made some mistakes too, but I think it definitely will help if we have our number one goalkeeper there. Obviously, we've mentioned, Cardenti, she's going to be so important for us in this game. But as I said before, I'm just so happy that Arsenal are actually getting to a final because the last few seasons we've actually got to a semi final, and do you know what? It was so hard a few seasons ago when we played Wolfsburg because
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we we,
yeah.
we had like three players with
Ruben
the
Moy, that
ace.
last mistake, man, that
Yeah,
last mistake of
that
Ruben
was
Moy.
that was so
Yeah,
painful because
yeah.
they scored. I'm pretty sure last minute, and that was and my heart just broke. I was so
I was
sad.
waiting for penalty shootouts, honestly.
Yeah,
I
I
was of the opinion,
was.
yeah, okay, penalty shootout, let's see what's going to happen. And all of a sudden it goes in like, I mean, that should have been a Barca Arsenal final. Like, you should have like
That would have
faced
been.
already like 2 years ago, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, that. I think it's really interesting looking back as well because at the time I thought I was upset for a bit, but I thought if we're being honest, we've got so many players that have done the ACL, and I
Exactly,
mean
four players, yeah.
our captain as well, Kim Little. I think she was out as well. I think she had like a different type of injury, and I think now, I mean, I'm not saying we're going to win, but I think we feel more prepared. I mean, as fans, I think we feel quite better. As you've mentioned as well, how Arsenal can come back in these games. And I love Chloe Kelly as well. She's been amazing for Arsenal. So I think both teams have definitely got some incredible players. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I'm very very excited because I've never seen us get to a Champions League final, and I feel like Arsenal Barcelona. There's always that history behind it as well. As you mentioned before, we've not played each other, for a few years, but this game still feels so big for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, as a neutral, you might ask what's there, but I would respect the atmosphere. I think this is going to be the best, if one of the best, if not the best atmosphere, because Barca fans are really amazing. You would have seen like the previous finals, but Arsenal fans are also equally good. So
Yeah,
I think it's going to be 50-50 in the stadium. It's a 50,000 stadium, so I don't think we will only see a few Arsenal fans like last season, like what like
yeah,
Leon had like almost 500 people maximum, and the rest of it was just Barcelona. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be incredibly loud, incredibly rowdy from both sides, and it depends like totally on who scores. Like if Barca score, Barca fans are gonna shout. If
yeah.
Arsenal score, Arsenal fans. But other than that, overall the atmosphere I think is going to be really really great. And on TV, I think it's going to be great. Are you going to the game? Are you going to Lisbon?
I wish. Are you? I wish I could go.
Yeah, they're lucky people, man. The people who are going there, it's really, really lucky.
Yeah,
So yeah, that is going to be great. The atmosphere is going to be amazing. So That is great. So, as I said, Arsenal and Barca have met 4 times in the past, and I will just like to have, let's make it light now. We have discussed the serious part. Let's make it light. So, I'll have a slight trivia question. Like, 5 players have played for both Barcelona and Arsenal. Can you name them?
From the men's team or from the women's? Do I think
No,
if there's
women,
any?
women.
Oh gosh.
We're not talking men. We're talking about the women. Women Champions League. So it's all women. 5 players have played.
Oh, that's a tough question. Let me try and think.
We can start with the obvious two, obviously.
Do you know, I did actually know. I started watch. I've not watched with women's football. I started watching. I think it was 2018-19. So
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
don't actually know. You have to tell me. I can't think
Yeah, the
now.
two obvious ones you can say.
I'm trying to think. My mind's gone blank. Oh, that is a tough
Shake
one.
it,
Tell me.
shake it, caldente.
Oh yeah, I've been called auntie now. But
Yeah, there's one more in your squad right now.
did Cadena play for Barca?
Yeah, she did
Yeah,
play for
I
Barca.
thought yeah, that hers too.
You signed after the World Cup. You had 100,000 euros
I
for her.
like her. What? Yeah, I like her. I think it's a weird one with her because I think some fans like she's not really a starter at the moment, but I still think she's a good player to have in the team.
Yeah, I just think she has some injury issues, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, I think as well with Kadina, it took her a while to get used to England, and like we said before, it takes players time. I mean, if you move to a different country, it would take anyone time. So, I think for her, it's been a big adjustment. But I think I do like her. I think her and yeah, Kadina, I love Cordente. I think they're both great players to have. I can't believe it took me a while to get them to. I think any of them.
Okay. The last time Arsenal played Barcelona, she played for Barcelona. She also scored against it in the first group game. That's a clue.
Uh,
She's a striker.
oh, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think who.
She runs past Jen Beatty and she trips Leah Williamson after scoring the goal.
Do you know what? I
The
can
third goal
vision
for
that.
us.
I can vision that goal because that gave me nightmares. But I can't remember who it was. I hated that goal. That really killed it for us.
Uh, okay, it's Assisat Oshala.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. That's the vintage
She
one.
played in the 16-17 season for you guys.
Yeah, I think because I started watching. Well, I think I just watched when Alex got retired for Arsenal. I think that was when she retired. I literally just started getting
Okay.
into Arsenal. Oh, that's interesting that because yeah, you don't realize which sort of players used to play. I mean, there's a lot of players that you could name in the WSL, but yeah, that's an interesting one.
There's one more who currently plays at Brighton. She didn't play in the 4-1 game against you guys, the recent 4-1. She didn't play in that. But she played against Chelsea. She scored against Chelsea in that 2-2 draw. Chelsea's
Oh,
second ever draw at that time.
oh, that's a tough one.
She's Emma Bynes' partner.
What do you say?
Emma Byne, uh, ex-Arsenal goalkeeper.
Oh, oh
She's a
yeah. Oh,
partner.
oh God. I can't remember now. Do you know what? Do you know what? It's for me because I've watched Arsenal later. It's so hard to name just who it was.
Yeah, no problem. Her name is Vicky Losada. She
Okay.
played for Man City first, and then now she plays for Brighton.
Ah, well, that's cool. I love that.
Yeah. She played 15, 16, 16, 17. She also won League Cups and FA Cups with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And there's
it's
another
been a
player
while
named.
since we've won the league. The
No,
league.
just that, like they are. I thought only like Mariona and Cardina actually played for both of the clubs, but actually the three more people, I was quite surprised. So just some a slight
Y-
trivia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when you asked me. I was like, I can't remember now. Yeah, I think, like you said, Cadena, Cardenti, the two ones that,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we can still keep buying Barcelona players because if they're like Cardenti, I'll be happy.
Yeah, that's what Chelsea tried to sign Aitana last season when she had 1 year contract. They were ready to pay 3 million. There's the reason they want to sign. All of them want the
Yeah,
Barca players.
yeah, it's
But
good as
that's all.
well. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, go on, go on, go on.
I was gonna say it's good that we're actually buying a player that's actually in their at their best in their prime because I know sometimes you can buy players that are still good but not as good as they used to be. So
Yeah,
it's nice
yeah,
that we've bought them in, when she's at her best now.
that is true. That is true. And the opening group game, like you said, the last time Arsenal faced Barca, the starting lineup was Zinsberger in goal. It was Marriage in right back, Leah Williamson, Jen Beattie, Catley at left back,
Yeah,
Walty, Kim, and Marnham in midfield, Meadham, and McCabe in the front line.
that's crazy
So
now.
quite some changes. Six changes. Like if you compare the squad right now, but there obviously you have Leah, Kim,
Yeah,
and McCabe, Catley. You have the
yeah,
usual players, and there's been some changes. Even for Barca, there's been so many changes from the last time we met. It was Panos last time. It's Katakol now in goal. We had Marta Torrejon, and she's our legend. Like how Kim is to you guys,
yeah,
she is to us.
yeah,
She's also around 33, 34, quite old. And she's also been through it all, seen the club being amateur, being relegated and then being promoted and then finally become professional and then winning a Champions League. Like
yeah,
a legend for us. And Irene Mappy, that centre back pairing. And
yeah.
left back, instead of Rolfo, it was Srna, and the midfield was the same: APA, Aitana, Patria, Alexia, and the forward was Caro, Oshola, and Mariona. So again, we have
Wow.
also had some quite a few changes.
Yeah,
There's a lot of changes from the last time we met, and and it's also quite sad because Zinsberger was actually a top goalkeeper at that time, and I know
yeah,
many Arsenal fans were saying like uh, Arsenal conceded 8 over those two games, but this was despite Zinsberger's best effort. They were like, if Zinsberger
mm,
wasn't there, we would have conceded double-digit goals. And she
yeah,
also saved an Putellas penalty.
yeah.
Not
That
many people
penalty
can
save,
say that.
that was a great
Yeah,
one.
she
Yeah.
saved an Alexia Putellas penalty. So like, it's just sad to see her.
Mm,
Like fans are frustrated. They're frustrated with her for the right reasons because even if she does not make a mistake like directly, I don't know, I think it's intangible. Like the defenders, they're not confident when she is behind them.
mm.
So I think subconsciously they make mistakes, they're afraid, I suppose.
Yeah,
I mean, if I think I can see the difference. It's like very intangible. Like she makes obvious errors from time to time, but sometimes even again the game against United or the game against Brighton, she didn't particularly make any like howler. But the defenders, I don't know, like when you put her behind, the defenders just become, I don't know, they become crazy. They just aren't confident. But when you put DVD behind, they're like, yeah, we can do it. We are a solid unit. I think that's why somehow they put all those injections and somehow made us play that Leon game. I know that they have a bubble trap right now, to
yeah,
safely take her to Lisbon and then just play that one game, 190-minute game. So yeah, it's quite sad to see, Zinsberger. She was a great
yeah.
goalkeeper at the time.
I think it's really interesting. Like she's been with us for a while, and I think that game. I mean, I think Arsenal used to. I mean, I suppose we could still have this problem, but I think we used to have a big mentality problem when we came up against the big teams. Um, I know. Yeah, I know we sort of changed managers as well, and I think that did help us at a certain point.
Yeah,
And I think at that point, I remembered it wasn't. I felt bad for Zinsberg as well, as you mentioned them, because we can see a lot of goals. But I think that team just wouldn't ever beat this Barcelona team, that Barcelona team. And I think, as you mentioned with Zinsberger, it is sad that she's not as good as she was then. I do think she's going through a confidence issue. I think our last league game that we played against United, she looked better, but I think, as you mentioned,
yeah,
playing out from the back. Um, you can really feel that the back line just doesn't feel comfortable, and we're making silly mistakes. And if Sinsberger is to play against Barcelona, if Tom Lassar can't play, um, I think that it'd be quite an easy day for Barcelona if we keep making these mistakes. And I think, as you said, if Sinsberger is starting, I definitely think as fans we've got to get behind it. But I think it's so tough because I think I know myself, Tom Lassart is, our number one, Zinsberger is our number two now. And Zinsberger's been a number one for quite a few years now. But I think we've had a goalkeeper problem for a few seasons, which is a real shame. And I think it'd be nice to sort of end the season on a really good high for us, for Zinsberger, because I think Arsenal are going to have a big summer. I think there's going to be players that will obviously move on, whether that's Innsberger or whoever. I think it would be nice to, end the season on a high. I mean, it's like I said, this game, it's so exciting to have. It's nice to have something to look forward to in the season because obviously we never really reached the FA Cup final and these trophies. You really want to be in these competitions. I mean, for me, as an Arsenal fan, I always see Chelsea winning stuff, and it'd be really
Yeah,
nice for us
honestly,
to.
fucking boring.
Yeah, I'm tired of Chelsea winning.
Yeah.
It's really interesting with Chelsea because I think now I look at our team and I think we've got a good enough quality to win a league or to do this, and I think with our new manager we're doing good. But I just think Chelsea have just they've just had too much success, and
No,
as you
but the
mentioned
thing is,
before, yeah,
yeah, but the thing is, even this season, like the games against Chelsea were very close. The first
yeah,
game was Jonas and the team was in a very bad position.
mm,
I was really concerned about Mariana joining you guys
yeah,
at that time. Like, this is the team you wanted to join under Jonas. You left Giraldes for Jonas, really. But
yeah,
after he left, things are good. And but even the game under Rene, and it was quite close. I mean, at the beginning, you guys struggled a lot, but after that, you
yeah,
got quite the confidence, and then Chelsea were under pressure, and then you considered one penalty. But that was all the difference. Like, even the season before, like 23-24, I think you guys were like unbeaten against City and maybe Chelsea, or I think you
yeah. We
won
had a
one
good
game against
record.
Chelsea and lost the other.
Yeah, I think we've had quite good records against Man City and
Yeah,
Chelsea,
but I just
especially Man
think
City.
it is that consistency that Chelsea have.
Mm,
I think that is what you're lacking, and for that you need top players like Caldente, and you also need proper squad depth. And I
yeah,
think the manager should also, trust the youngsters. Like I've seen Kafaji, she has not been playing at all, and
mm,
yeah, so like I can understand the manager. She's a new manager. She just come in. She wants to first stabilize the position and then think about development. I get that, but that is a similar situation with. But I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but
yeah,
to just give you an example, like Pererome is also a new manager. Like
yeah,
he's even younger than Rene. Like I'll get to that, but Rene he's even younger. So he was an assistant, and then they got Kika Nazareth. She's 21 years old. Same like you can compare Kika and Kafaji. They're quite similar profiles. And I think Barca was also said that Barca, if they didn't get Kika, Kafaji was their next target.
yeah,
So they're quite good players, like attacking midfielders. Maybe you can also put them as strikers, but mainly attacking midfielders. So they're of the same ilk. And Kika came in. She took some time to adjust, but then she started doing well. She
mm,
started playing regular minutes in the league, and she also scored 3 Champions League goals. And
yeah,
sadly, she had an injury. Otherwise, she would have been, flourishing better. But the case with Kafaji is that she has not been playing mostly. She hardly gets 3-4 minutes. I think the
yeah,
manager should also, I know Rene has done a great job, but we have to call things as it is. So
yeah.
I think we have,
Kavaji's, yeah, she doesn't get any time really. I mean,
yeah,
I
like I
don't
understand,
know
like
why.
youngsters are going to be rough. They're not going to play perfect games. Even we had another 17-year-old Sydney Shorten, like she got more game time after Walsh left. She's very raw. She still makes mistakes in league games, but we have to let them flourish. Otherwise,
Yeah,
how are they
makes
going to
sense. Yeah,
develop? Yeah, so if Arsenal are going to go for squad depth, if they're going to go for youngsters, then they will have to, trust the
mm,
youngsters. Because Chelsea again, 21-year-old Aggie Beaver Jones, she's only 21-year-old, but they trust her to play well, to play the big games. You have to trust. You have to trust with the players. Only then will they play for you. Otherwise, her development is gone, her morale is gone. She also posted something on social media at some point. So like, it causes unnecessary drama on the team.
Yeah.
So I think that is one thing Renes Legos should work on, like trusting the
Mhm.
players and bringing the squad depth, and also looking of quality and not quantity, because that is also important. Like
Yeah.
even Barcelona after they brought on Pina and Rolfo in that game against Chelsea. Look at the squad of the Barca. But if you ask Barca fans, we were quite worried because after Walsh left, we did not have a defensive midfielder backup. Engen was a defensive midfielder, but she's not of the same quality as Walsh.
Yeah.
So we had a worry if Patrick just got injured at the most important moment, what's going to happen? And she did, like Alexia and Patrick got injured at the same time
Yeah.
during the time when England beat Spain in the Nations League group game. At the time, Alexia and Patrick were injured. So I will say Barca have 20 players in their first team squad, and three of them are goalkeepers. So
Yeah.
basically, we have 11, starting 11, and six players, and three of them are youngsters. Barca don't have squad depth either. It's just the individual quality which is bringing them. Actually, this season it's been a very thin squad for Barcelona. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like some of they came to the final, and these last games they've somehow been healthy, but we have just one or two injuries away from the season being completely derailed.
Yeah.
So again, we also have to look at squad depth this season. But the thing which brought us over Chelsea was Chelsea had so many people. Like actually, their squad depth is what was their downfall, I would say, because there's so many people. Like you had Bronze and
Mhm.
Lawrence at right back, but she only preferred Bronze. I don't know why. Lawrence was never given any chance. And then they had Macario, Hamano, Captain, Walsh, Cuthbert, and then Newskin. Like 6, 7 players for three positions. Like they thought they can just rotate between games and the chemistry will come. It doesn't work like that. You have to play players, especially when she comes to different system. Uh, it takes time to to adjust. So again, you can't buy players like Chelsea. They have 40 players in the squad, and
Yeah,
then they
they've
send
got a
all of
lot.
them on loans. Yeah, and then all of them on loans. Like I'm not dissing them, but I'm saying this is the practical difficulties you have. Like you can buy as many players as you want, but you can only have like 20 or 25, 26 players at max. So you have to build on that also. That is why quality or quantity. Chelsea had the
Yeah.
quantity, Barca had the quality. But again, Barca, one or two injuries, we're gone. Our season's gone. But somehow, luckily, nothing happened like that. So even if Arsenal are going to bring in squad depth, they have to look at quality players like
Yeah.
Aldente, players like Kafaji, and actually give them minutes. So that is something
Yeah.
Arsenal should work on.
I think I think with Cavachi, I mean, even when Jonas was here, he did the same thing. I mean, we did see her occasionally. I personally think she's unhappy with the game time. I mean, I would be if I was her because there are games where we have put out a weaker squad, and I think you could put her in that team and give her an opportunity. I like her. I think Arsenal have this problem with me, and we've had some great players the last few seasons, and we've not given them game time for whatever reason. Then we've sold them, which I don't agree with. This it is so hard. But I think with Faji, I really want her to succeed at Arsenal.
Yeah.
I do think she'll probably go on loan next season because I don't really see if we're not going to start her now, then I don't really see us starting her next season.
But you
Oh,
should be
like I
playing
said,
in a team.
we have to give these
Yeah.
young players a chance.
Yeah. Like, I think you also spend quite a lot of money on Kafaji, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
So you
I
have
don't
to.
even remember now. I think it was quite a bit, but
Yeah, that's what. Like, I don't know how much exactly, but it's quite a lot of significant amount of money. So you have to play players like that. Was what's the point? What's the point in sending in
yeah, why
loan
would you buy them
and
if
you
you're not
spend?
going to play? Yeah,
Yeah, it's like if a youth product. I mean, if it's a KT Reed, I can understand. You send her on loan, it's fine. But you buy a top player like her, and then yeah, it doesn't look good. And as you said, like the last time Barca met Arsenal, it was quite a bloodbath. But the time before that, so as I said, we have met 4 times. So
hmm
last 2 times was in 2021, and before that also Arsenal met Barca. And that time Arsenal were the ones who were giving us trauma. I mean, I wasn't watching that time, but seeing the highlights, it just so surreal. Arsenal were the dominant force at that time. They won
Yeah.
7-0 over two legs on aggregate, and your Gen BT scoring hat tricks against us, and it was a really weird. Looks like a weird timeline because Barca play like a very average team, and Alexia Putellas was 18 years old at that time, so it was a
Oh,
very yeah, I
I
know.
like her now. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
and
I like to see
Jen
her.
BT actually, I think she tweeted somewhere like, I don't even think Puteas remembers me like from
Yeah,
that time.
yeah.
And yeah, I think you must have seen that. Oh, I remember you. You
I
beat
love
us very
that. I
badly.
love. Yeah, that was funny. Um,
Yeah, there's quite some history over there, you know. Even though we
yeah,
met only like four times, there's
yeah. I
some
mean,
quite history there.
I think with Arsenal, I think at the moment, like we do get, as you mentioned before, with attendances, Arsenal and Chelsea do okay. I mean, I think in our league, I think we do really get the best attendances, and I think for this game as well, I think Barcelona fans, there's going to be so many. You're going to see so many different sets of fans, and yeah, I think it's hard because as each season goes on, as time goes on, these big teams are going to improve, and I think looking back a few years ago, we've probably not done that enough. And now we've obviously, like you said, I think the quality is so important. I mean, I think a few seasons back, we just hit a standstill where, I mean, we just, like I said, we always struggle to beat the bigger teams. And I think now it's really good to be at a point as well where we're improving every season. And obviously, Renee is, she's learning on the job and she's going to make mistakes. And I think she's made some mistakes this season, and that's how she learns as well. And I think, like you said, quality is so important. I mean, I do think we need quite a few players this summer, but I'd rather us buy, two or three really good players that are going to help us win the league, that are going to
Yeah,
get us to finals. Because I think we can get to finals. I just think it is hard as well because we want to take each competition really seriously. But I think the league and the Champions League will always be my favourite
yeah.
competitions.
And speaking of players, this is in hindsight, and hindsight is a wonderful thing. At the time when Arsenal were actually trying to sign Kero Walsh, and it was reported that Arsenal were ready to pay 1.1 million. I don't know if it's true, but like where you guys really had the money, I do not know, or it was just a test like you tried against Russo, you know. Hey, we're gonna buy you, but not this season, next season, maybe I don't know, but it was reported that Arsenal were ready to buy for 1.1 million, and Barca rejected that offer. And at January she went off to Chelsea, and everybody is like, "Oh, Chelsea! Wow, look at them! They got Walsh. They weakened Barcelona. They have made a mockery of Arsenal. Oh, look at that! They made all the stuff." But it's not working for her there because Chelsea
Yeah,
don't play. You know, Arsenal play more possession-oriented football than Chelsea. Chelsea don't play that way. Sone is trying to bring that to Chelsea, but they don't play like that. They are more direct.
yeah,
They're more long ball type of thing. It's not wrong. That's their style of play.
yeah,
I think Kira Walsh would have had she at that time the narrative was that Arsenal were struggling in the league, we're struggling in Champions League. If Kira Walsh goes to Arsenal, it's good for Barca because they're not directly strengthening a rival in Chelsea. But in hindsight, I think she would have suited you guys way more,
yeah,
and not just in terms of quality but also longevity because she's only 27, 28, so she has some
yeah,
more time in her bank, and that would have improved you guys. Like Kira Walsh and
mm,
Caldente in midfield is quite a good combo to have. And you guys were also linked with Caroline. And just think of this: you have Walsh, you have Caroline for the final, you have Kelly. You can start either Kelly or Carol in the final and bring the other one on when
yeah,
required. Like that looks quite scary. I'm glad as an opposition fan that those two players didn't sign for you guys, but this is the kind of signings you must make this
yeah.
summer.
Do you know what? I mean, I should mention when we were wanting Karen Walsh. I mean, that would have really. I mean, at the time I thought Alessia Russo was a dream, and it actually happened. So I was hoping it would
Yeah.
happen with Kira Walsh. Um, I think she went to Barcelona because I reckon she knew she had a great chance to win that Champions League, and I think a lot of the teams in England struggle to get to, well, for A, to get to the final, but to win the final. The Champions League for Chelsea, it's an interesting one. I know they played you guys a few seasons ago. They got to a final, and you were the better team on the day. but I think Chelsea have never got there again, and they've always struggled. I know they might have had a bit of, unluck at times, but I think Kira Walsh would have been amazing at Arsenal. And as you mentioned as well, our midfield um, isn't getting any younger. I mean, Kim
Yeah.
Little, I expect her to retire maybe next season, maybe the season after. Leah Volti, I don't know. I kind of think she might move on maybe next season. The season,
I think you
I
must
love
move
her, but
on.
she's
Like
not
that's the
playing much.
thing. Like you have
Yeah,
good players in your squad, but if you really want to challenge Chelsea, challenge the big teams in Champions League, you must move on from such type of
yeah,
players. Like Kim Little is an amazing player. She even scored against Barcelona in that 12-13 season. She still has that quality, but you have to move on. Like
yeah,
I said, Marta, she was the starting right back in the Champions League final against Chelsea. After that, she was phased out. She plays
yeah,
some league games right now, but other than that, she doesn't play. She's most likely going to leave Barcelona. I don't know if she's going to retire or play somewhere else, but she's going to leave Chelsea. So, sorry, Barcelona this season. So
yeah,
that's how you also have to learn to move on from players. Like
yeah,
Wahabi was a starting left back in that final. Now she plays for City. So
yeah.
there's one
That's
thing
true.
to get to top
Yeah,
players and also to send out the players. You have to move on from players. I think that is also there. You can't be too emotionally connected with them. As a club, I
yeah,
mean, obviously fans are going to be connected. Like we still love Mariona. That's why he started watching Arsenal. So
yeah,
there'll be that connect for the fans. But as a club, they have to be really, really
mm,
professional. Like even if they were a top player at some point, if they're not performing right now, if you see there's no potential, you have to move on. So you have to be
yeah,
more ruthless, is what I'm saying.
yeah. I think that's always got to be the important thing as well. When the January window comes up, when the summer comes up, you do have to be ruthless because some players we have now were good for us maybe last season, the season after, and now maybe they're just not needed as much. I mean, we have at the moment there's a few players that have left, and I think what they were important for us a few seasons back, and I couldn't ever imagine them not being at Arsenal now. But this is football, and as you said, football does move on. I think with Kim
Yeah,
Little, I think I think she's still got it. I think she's still good.
yeah.
But I
Like you can
think,
bring her off the bench or play
yeah,
some
she's
games, but you can't
yeah,
expect her to play most of the games,
yeah,
top games.
yeah. I mean, I think this season and last season as well, she has, picked up more injuries, whether that's,
Yeah,
a hamstring or ankle, like these small things. And I think, she retired from international football to definitely focus on Arsenal because I think she knew herself she couldn't really do both. She couldn't
yeah,
have the fitness levels to do international football and Arsenal. I think that suits us, her focus on Arsenal. But yeah, I think as well our last home game of the season she scored, and I think that was her first goal I think all season or for a long time. So I
yeah. First
definitely
open play goal in
yeah,
something like I
it's
heard that
yeah,
stat.
but
Yeah,
I think as well she has a lot of attributes, and I think she's a good player. But I think the midfield as well. I mean, we've got so many options. We've got Pullover, who's come back from her injury. We've got
mm.
Cooney Cross, and they
Yeah.
don't
What's the
really
deal with
start.
Cooney Cross? Why didn't she like play? I at the beginning she played some minutes. I thought she was gonna be integrated like major like a major player, but again she's not. She's down the pecking order.
Yeah,
What's the deal with her?
well, it's an interesting one because I think at the moment our midfield, is usually Kim Little,
Mariona.
Caldente, Frida Marnham, and
Yeah,
do you know what? It just works that for some reason. Like, I mean, Frida Marnham, I really like. I think she's really great in the attacking sense, but I think Cooney Cross definitely does deserve, the opportunity. As you said, she did start and then she stopped starting, and
yeah,
I just think the midfield that we sort of play at the moment, suits us. And I think the players we have in midfield, I don't think you can drop them right now because I think they're doing their job. But ultimately, if you're in Queenie Cross position, she'd probably be thinking, why am I not starting? Because she is a very special talent, and we have, like I said, we've got so many options, but I think it's hard if you're not going to give players the opportunity to play. I'm not just talking about the final. I mean, generally in the league or in the cup
yeah.
games. I think I think we've just got a big squad at the moment, which isn't a bad thing. But I think we need to start more players, and yeah, I think the summer for us is going to be big.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah, that is also the thing. Like you, in the summer, the club can back Rene and get the big players, but
yeah,
it's a completely different challenge to keep everybody happy. Like if you have so many top players, you have to keep them on the toes. That is something experienced managers can do it. Emma
yeah,
Hayes was able to do it. Sonia Bompas was able to do it. So I think that will be a different challenge for Rene. If they do get the players she wants, then she must keep everybody happy. Everybody should be, even
yeah,
when they come onto the pitch, when she calls them on, like they should be ready. They should be giving their best. So that is what I would like to highlight at this point. Like we have talked about preview of the teams. Let's also preview about the managers. Like Rennes Legos is quite a young coach. She's only 36, and she played for Willem to Linköping, and her career was cut short because she
mm,
had a knee injury and she wasn't able to play. And then she went on to coaching, and she was like under 23 coach at Swedish national team, and she also coached the B teams of certain Swedish clubs. And then
yeah,
she coached Rosenborg as the first team coach. She also won the league titles. And I don't know if you know this, but she faced Barcelona as a Rosenborg coach. So in 22-23 season, she faced Barcelona as a coach, and they lost 1-4 and 6-0 at that time. Again, it's not doesn't mean like she's a bad coach. Just means
yeah,
like Rosenborg, it's not Arsenal. Let's just say that. So, and Mariana again, she scored a goal from the half wheel. I don't know, it's like she just scoring against you guys or something related to
yeah.
you,
She
but
scores
she is now
great
with
goals.
you. So yeah, you know what? You're like, okay, you keep scoring against us. You know what? We're gonna sign you. So finally, you won't score against us. So she was there. So not just Arsenal and Barca have history. So Rene is also, a short
Yeah,
history with Barca. So there's that. There's a young coach, and our coach Pereira is only 32. And it's what is interesting is even he has a similar story. Like he also played as a defensive midfielder, and his coach he used to tell that his playing profile actually is similar to that of Kiro Walsh, and again he also used to play. He played for an amateur team, and then like 17, 18 he did his ACL, and that was his career done. And during that time he helped the coaching staff, and that's how we got into coaching. And then he coached another Spanish club, and then Barca saw him. He did good things, so they signed him to La Masia. And then he coached the youth boys. He also coached Gavi, and he then went to Romania to be the assistant coach of the first team. And after 12 league games, they just completely sacked the whole staff, and then they merged with another club, a whole lot of complex stuff. And then he came back, and then he became one of the assistants for Jonathan Heraldes. He was one of the analysts for the team, and he also helped in game preparation. And after Jona left, so they chose him because he was very good in analytics, and he had a very strong player relationships. So that's why he became the first team manager. So Renee also has a similar story. Like
yeah,
she after Rosenberg, she joined you guys as assistant, and after Jonas left, she
mhm,
Arsenal signed. Made her the temporary interim manager and then the head coach. I actually had my doubts like when she was signed. Made the head coach. Like I just thought at that time like it was too lazy from Arsenal. Like, oh yeah, we have a coach. Because why? Because first they said they wanted to sign Nick Cushing, and Nick Cushing was like, I don't care about you guys. I'm in New York. I'm managing a men's team. I don't care. And then there's radio silence. There's nothing from Arsenal. There's no, like who are you going to try? Like, are you going to try somebody? Like, there's no noise at all.
yeah,
And suddenly they're like, we are going to give Rennes like the opportunity. Like, at that time, just felt very lazy. Like, okay, we don't have any manager. We tried Nick Cushing. He wasn't there available. So we'll just give it to Rennes Legos. But yeah, it worked out
yeah,
quite good for you guys. So that's great. But
yeah.
yeah, at
It's
that time, just
interesting.
felt very lazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there was options. I mean, I think for us, I mean, at the time, I didn't know too much about her. I knew that she, done a lot of coaching, but um, all we knew at that point was, Jonas, he had to leave. That's all. I
He had
think
to.
as fans, I
Please,
loved
please.
him.
Yeah.
I loved him when he came in, but
Yeah, I
I
mean
think with
that
Milan,
season 22-23 season is
yeah,
obviously special with the four ACL injuries. The way you beat Bayern and like almost beat Wolfsburg, I don't know how you did that. I honestly don't know.
yeah. I mean, at that time when we had those injuries, I think that don't know how many seasons ago that was, but I still wanted Jonas to stay because I thought, there's not much he can do. These injuries aren't his fault. It's probably because these players have been overplayed and other things, but I think when Miedema left, I think that was a turning point for Arsenal fans. Um, but yeah, I just think, yeah, I think Rennie, I do think she does deserve this job, and I think it was the right decision. And I think it was, reporters and journalists would always ask her, "Are you wanting to be the manager?" And
Yeah, I saw that.
she
Can you
would
ask
always
it once again,
focus
please?
on the
Yeah, I
players.
watched it.
Yeah,
That was nice.
and
That was, yeah, I
yeah,
mean, your marketing is amazing, man. Arsenal marketing is really, really good. Like the videos, the kind of videos they put, that's really good. Just that you have to match it with the performance on the pitch. Then yeah,
yeah,
Chelsea fans they won't know what to do. Like if you match it on the pitch also, then yeah, they will cry
yeah.
every day. So hopefully you guys can do it in the future.
Yeah, yeah. But for the game as well, um, do you have like a score prediction for the game for the final? Because I just don't right now. I have no idea what the score prediction could be. I feel like it could be like a high scoring one though.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a high scoring one. Score prediction. Mm,
I think it could go to
I
extra
could.
time.
It could go. Liam Sanderson did say it could go to extra time. Yeah, like see, what I would say is if Barca, like Arsenal have the capabilities to punish Barcelona.
Yeah,
It's about that is what they did to Leon. Like Leon makes Tuchel, they chose their team wrong, and then they were rattled. The moment they considered own goal, they were rattled. Their mentality was not in the right place. And Arsenal were like, they were cool, they calm, they composed. So like if Barca come in complacent, they come in tired, they think we just have to come in, we just have to play, we just have to show our face to the world, and then we'll leave. They come with that mentality. That's how they played against City in the first game. Like as I
yeah,
said, even Pereiro may have made mistakes. Like again, he's a young coach, he makes mistakes. So he played Alexia at the left wing as a false left winger, and then he played the three midfielders. He tried a four midfielder system. It completely blew up in his face, and we lost to City. City played incredibly well. Like everybody put a 9 out of 10 performance minimum. So that can happen. So if
yeah,
Barca play, if Barca play the way like with full intensity, they will win. But if they do not do it, if they play like
mm,
complacent or they take Arsenal for granted, then there's very good chance Arsenal can win because Arsenal show that against Lyon. But I hope they will be ready. They would have seen the game against Lyon. So yeah, I will give a
yeah,
3-0 score.
yeah. It's gonna be a tough one. I do think as well. Whoever gets the goal first. I mean, I think for us, it would help us scoring first, but I don't. I think we'd have to really score a few. I don't think we could just sit back and park the bus if we've scored.
Yeah,
I
but the
think,
thing is, both teams have that. Like, even if Arsenal concede, I don't expect them to implode because that is
yeah,
what they've shown the whole season. The resilience. Like, you guys have played 14 games. The final, you the 15th game. This is the longest any team has played in the Champions League. 15 long games, and it is the first time in Champions League history a team starting from the first qualifying round has reached the final. So
yeah,
that is history in itself. So I don't think Arsenal are gonna like be like you give them one punch, they're just gonna fall down. I think even if Barca score one or two, I still think they have a chance. Like they will keep fighting. So even
yeah,
Barca the same. Like that's what happens with Wolfsburg. You score one or two against Barca, they're not gonna fall back. So I think both those teams, have the resilience. So I
mm,
don't think it will be a given. Like if one team scores to let's say 2 and a half time, either Barca or Arsenal,
yeah,
I don't think the game's over at that time. I
yeah,
think we can only say it when it ends.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely going to be an exciting one. Like you said, I think whoever scores first, I think either team will try and get back into it. And I don't think it'll be over. I think, like we said, we might see penalties extra time. I hope for our heart rate it doesn't really go that fast. But yeah, it's going to be a good game for sure. I do have to go now, but I also want people to check out your channel as well, where you do chat about the Barcelona women's team. And do you want to just tell people about your channel and where they can find you?
Yeah, my channel it's the Blograna Blood, the Blograna Blood. It's on YouTube, and I'm also available on Twitter and Blue Sky. On Twitter, it's capital D, and then Blograna Blood, and Blue Sky just THE Blograna Blood. So you can check my videos on YouTube and connect with me on
Yeah,
Blue
please
Sky
do
and
check.
X.
Yeah, I'll let people check your stuff out, and I'll put your title as well, your YouTube channel
Thank you,
title.
thank
And
you.
yeah, to those that will watch this back, I hope you're all looking forward to the game.
Yeah, we not say your prediction though. What's your prediction?
I don't know. I mean,
Obviously, Arsenal wins. So, how much do you think
I I
expect
have
Arsenal to win by?
I feel like it. I feel 2-1, but I feel like
Okay.
it. I either team. Like I feel like one team is just gonna nick it and just, and that's gonna hurt if that's Barcelona. But yeah, I just think one of the teams is just gonna slightly edge it a bit more. But I think it'll be a lot closer than it has been in recent years. I think I would be surprised if you won 4-0 or it does depend really because, as I said, in the league defensively we have been a little bit shaky. Um, but I know the team will know that this is going to be massive because we've, as I said, we've gotten so far, reaching semi-finals, but we've just never been able to get to that final. And I
Yeah.
think this team is going to be up for this occasion. So I just
But
hope,
for all the pomp and
yeah,
what is that? All the pomp and hype for Chelsea, I watched the game against you at Stamford Bridge, you and Chelsea.
yeah,
They had Naomi Gurma, waiting like she was gonna come after the game, and it was
yeah,
like a movie, like the empire is going to like they're bringing the new queen, and the empire is going to get bigger. They're gonna beat Barcelona. That's it. This is our year finally. Blah 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 for all
I
the
know.
hype, for all the money they spent in the winter transfer window. You
It happened.
you
Yeah,
guys brought the proper Barca signing with Mariona, and
yeah,
you guys are in the final. So that's
yeah.
really funny and amazing.
No, I'm so happy we're in the final. But I do think as well, if Cardenti does score, she
No, she's
always
not.
does.
Please.
She
No. Oh
always
God.
does a celebration, but I don't think she would do one against
She
you
won't
guys.
celebrate, but that's
No.
not going to help us. I don't want her to score. Please. Oh God.
Yeah,
That'd be the worst thing, honestly. That is
she.
what that is what I dreaded. That is why I
Yeah,
didn't want Arsenal to face Barcelona. That is why I was not hoping for Leon to win because I hate Arsenal or I love Leon. I just didn't want to face Mariona. Like,
yeah. I get you. It'd be hard. Yeah, I do hope she does well though. In this game, it's going to be a tough one. I love Cardente. Let me just check. I think you're frozen there, but I'll wait till he comes back. But yes, Cardente is amazing, and I love her. I mean, hope she scores in the final. And yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed our show today. It might come back. I don't know. It might be the signal, but yeah, I'm gassed for it. I think as I'm recording this, I'll probably upload it tonight, but it's like only 4 days away, so I'm absolutely buzzing for this game. But I might have to end this now because he's still frozen for some reason. But thank you all for watching, and I might just see if he comes back. um, it might be his Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's coming back, but yeah, this one has been. Oh God, we've been chatting for an hour. It's gone so quick. But yeah, I will do as well a live reaction after the game. I'll be either heartbroken or dead happy. But yeah, I'll give it another minute because I don't want to just leave without saying bye. I hope you all have enjoyed my guest today, his appearance. It's been great to chat with him about his point of view for Barcelona. I've really enjoyed it today. It's been so much fun to do this, and please do check out his channel, which is in the title. Please do like this video. Do subscribe. I'll just check if he's messaged. I don't know if he's coming back on. Um, I'm pretty sure that it isn't working for him now. Um, Yeah, I'll probably just end this and just message him because for some reason it isn't working. But love to you all. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.